what's happening, everyone? Pragmatic Addict here. Man, I remember when I saw this trailer, I was floored. I was a sobbing mess by the end that needed to be mopped up. I started to get worried and scold myself for seeing Smile 2 before this one. I'm like, yep, probably gonna have to wash this down with something. Let's see what else is out. It's interesting. I feel like with every romance film that A24 puts out, it's becoming more and more like their horror films where it's like, look, when they drop a romance, it's gonna deliver. So this film's premise reads, two complete strangers eventually end up forming a family. It embarks us on their journey. A lovely journey. With all the ups and joyful moments, as well as the downs and real-life struggles couples often face, including unexpected, devastating news. So an immediate and very strong thing about this film was Garfield and Pugh's chemistry, their characters, relationship. It just felt like we were following a real, young, loving, compatible couple. It seemed to just have a very solid connection in real life. We all know that matters a whole bunch on screen, and I mean, look at this. It's adorable. Andrew Garfield, especially at times, they were both impeccable in this film, don't get me wrong, but I found many times that the emotion that Andrew Garfield's character had to tackle specifically were shown in a very profound and even personal way, and were delivered in a way that I feel like only he could do. How like each person has their own like uniqueness, their own quirks, which I will say, like, the film doesn't feel completely brand new, but the film just it selected its two tools production wise very specifically. It just has so much production-wise that is working in its favor. Though I will say, for how the premise sounded pace-wise, as well as the film's title, and what seemed to be its bigger message or aim, I really expected this to just be a straightforward love story, how they met, all the stages of the relationship before an emotionally draining final act, conclusion. No, this film actually starts, as far as points in this relationship, with kind of everything just out on the table, everything stated. And by that I mean, like, all of the big things that seemed like they were going to be addressed in this film, you know, this couple's pregnancy, Florence Pugh's sickness. Like, I want to say that they were some of the first scenes we actually see in the movie, because it's actually one of those films that kind of jumps back and forth, and slowly we just get more and more information and have it all kind of like meet full circle. It's one of those type of films. And just for the straightforward romance story, from what the trailer seemed to be showing, as well as the premise itself, what that was stating, I was like, wait a minute, why are we getting shown these things right now? I want to learn about and fall in love with the characters and, you know, get there where, you know, I feel like I have enough reason to feel some actual emotion or actual attachment or care. And by that standpoint, like how the film chose to begin and overall just tell its story, it was just hard to feel some real impact. It just didn't feel like there was enough time to feel or work up to a certain feeling, because the film is just constantly shifting to different and very interesting points in the story, and I just think that it wasn't the way that the story should have been told, personally. I mean, regardless, the chemistry, the performances, as well as how the scenes and story points just stand on their own as individual scenes and story points, everything in the moment worked, and the film would have completely worked had it just been told standardly. It just felt like it was a lot of times just not the right scenes to view currently. Even while I was still in like the first-ish act of the film, I was already getting to a point where I was like, okay, let's try and remember what we know so far. Though one very important thing that I was blown away by, that I'm very excited to say, is that all like of the very majorly important story points, like Florence Pugh's character's sickness, the couple's pregnancy, I felt like tonally, emotionally, with the cast and studio and even the demographic that this may more be aimed at, all delivered very well as scenes that you could expect with all of those matters. And even more so, were actually just the best scenes in the movie, which is definitely something to say, because while these are just in general what would be the most important things as far as the story here, you gotta remember, regardless of like how I felt like pace-wise of the movie, pretty much every scene worked for me. The big thing I kept coming back to in my head was, regardless, by the end of the movie, I'll have seen the full story. By then, how will it and I feel? And ultimately, the movie is very good, if not great. Definitely let me know what you guys thought about this one, with it being, an A24, the genre, the cast. I would really, as well as, like, obviously, again, just the pace of the film. I would love to hear what everybody's thinking about it. But yes, guys, all that being said, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Take care and have a great day.